Hello friends, thank you all for an amazing response on our channel. It is overwhelming for us to hear back from so many people who are interested in data science stuff. It is a pleasure to share with you that our GitHub account had so many views and hits over the last few months. This means a lot to us. Keep sharing our videos and sharing it with other data science enthusiasts. We are back again with an exciting use case, and this time we will focus on the deployment of our model using Flask. Since this is the first of its kind, we'll keep it simple enough for you to get a hang of it. We will be dealing with the development server that will run on a local host. So here are the things that you will need. A machine learning model developed on a dataset, a pickle file where the model will be saved, the HTML file which contains the code of the front-end application, and finally a Python file where the backend coding of the app will be done. So let's start with the first section. Here we have illustrated the model development on a very simple advertising dataset which has three independent variables containing the amount of money spent in advertisements via newspaper, radio, and television. It contains a dependent variable that is the sales amount. Let's look at the Python file. We have named it model.py. We have imported packages like pandas for data frame related tasks, sklearn for model development, pickle for saving the model. The first section is about loading the dataset and data pre-processing. The next set is for splitting the dataset into two parts. Here we have used a 80-20 ratio and then fit the data into a simple linear regression model. We check the accuracy of the model. Once we are satisfied with the accuracy that we get, we move on to save the model into a pickle file. The next section is just to check the output of the model given the different sets of input. Now let us design the front-end page. Please make sure that you create the .html file inside a folder named templates. We have used a standard HTML template consisting of title and form. You can refer to W3 School's website to get a hang of how to create an HTML page. In the form, we have taken the input from the user on the money spent on advertising channel. And in the section below, we have a reference to a variable that will hold the result and display it on the page. Now let's work on the backend. We have created app.py file to take the input from the front-end page and render the output on the same page after running the model in the backend. So here we have used Flask. But what is Flask? Flask is a web application framework. So what is web application framework? Web framework is simply a collection of libraries and modules that enables the developers to write applications without worrying about the details like thread management, protocol, etc. In Python, we have something similar which is bundled together into a package that is Flask. So, in this file you can see that we have user libraries like Flask to create an application, request to take the input from the user, and render_html which will run render_template package is used to render the HTML page. In the first section of the code, we are initializing the application and loading the pickle file. In the next section, we are rendering the default index.html page which has a view of taking the input from the user. When the user clicks on predict sales, we have an action defined in the HTML page to link it with the application file. In this section of the code, we use the input from the user to predict the output and we render it back to index.html in sales prediction value variable. The predict here is the same predict that we have to mention in the HTML page in the action tab. As mentioned earlier, we are highlighting again that this should be the standard structure of that application. Now let's run the application to see the output. So we will start by running app.py first. You see here it has returned a URL. We'll copy the URL into a browser. It opens a front-end application for us. Now let's take the input here. Suppose the company is spending $20 on newspaper advertisements, $10 on radio advertisements, and $5 on television. We click on Predict Sales to get the result. You see the forecasted sales is worth $61.9. Hope with this simple example you got a feel of how we can deploy our model on the server and create a front-end application to get the predicted result. Such kind of applications are useful for showcasing the results to the stakeholders and also making the model results available to the users who might not be familiar with programming languages like say Python. Please note that this application is for demo purpose and is deployed on local server. However, we can extend this to production server as well, and we can also customize the URL for the broader audience. Hope we were able to bring out some good information for you through this video. If you like what you saw, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to check out other data science video on this channel. Bye bye and happy learning.